about blended learning, this concept of education that has been gaining a lot of space in the education network. It is a concept that seeks to unite traditional methodologies with innovative methodologies that seek to include students and take into account their different skills. In this conception, we use technology and also the methodologies of gamification, to attract the students and facilitate their learning process. Within the concept of blended learning, we have available several methodological models, such as flex models, lab rotation, flipped classroom, and station rotation. Among these models, after an analysis of the school routine and our needs, we chose to introduce the blended learning method through rotation by seasons and flipped classroom. In the rotation by seasons, the teacher plans 3 or more stations of teaching and learning, but uses the same content that the teacher wants to teach in the class. For example, if I want to teach geometry class or geometric figures, I will have 3 stations working geometric figures, exploring different abilities of my students. During the lesson, the teacher assists the movement of the stations and analyzes the performance of each student in these activities. The students are free to choose the station that they feel the most comfortable to experience. Since the stations will be presenting different resources, I can have a station with a technological resource, another station providing a reading, another construction station where the students construct geometric figures or build mock-ups, games, and so on. The students can identify the way they like to study. If it's a technological student, he or she certainly goes to the technology workshop, but if she or he is an ingenious student who likes to build things, they will look for the manual jobs. The students participate in these rotations, and after a certain time, they switch to another experience, a new station to be discovered. They can do this in 2 ways. First part free choice as soon as they feel comfortable. They move to another station, but it can also be done for a time determined by the teacher, where the teacher chooses the amount of minutes in which he thinks the student is already qualified for a next step. It is important to say that the students have to be free to choose what they think best. In the blended learning model, personalization is a very important characteristic. The student is the protagonist of his or her learning, so they decide how comfortable they feel to carry out the whole process. At the end of the class, we also leave a time of exchange experience among the students. Sometimes a certain student did not choose a station because he or she did not think they would identify themselves, but listening to their classmates' testimonial, they get interested in the experience their classmates had. In addition to the rotation by station, we also use the flipped classroom a lot. It is the moment in which the student at home can continue his or her learning process, following a script established by his or her teacher, or also suggestions of educational platforms in which it can develop or continue a given content. This is the time when the student will have a pre-knowledge on a suggested topic, and in the classroom they can ask questions and explore the content further. This is our robotics and programming workshop. So, we work with the concept of blended learning. This methodology is rotation by stations. So, we have 3 stations happening simultaneously. After a certain time, the students can rotate and choose the other workshop that they are willing to participate. This first workshop is online programming, so they are working with block programming through a website called Program E, and there they can find and set up the movements of the characters so they can program the moves. In the case, it's an Angry Bird game. So they decide if the character goes right or left using the programming block. That workshop there is the programming workshop of the Unplugged, which is offline. So they go there to the root of what is programming. What programming language is? Algorithm, and they are working with quadratic mesh. Then there, they decide whether to go right or left until they build a drawing. Then, they work the same origin before going to the technology. Finally, here is our robotics workshop. They work with the robotic Lego kit, and they will set up the structure of the robot, and after they finish setting up the structure of the robot, the friends of the programming help them to program the movements of the robots. And this is the type of workshop that works logical reasoning, strategy reasoning, teamwork, cooperation among friends, creativity, in addition to the basic concepts of Portuguese, history, geography that can be inserted even in mathematics.